All right, guys, we're back for another live episode of Muscle Discord. Welcome back to the show, everybody. Every Monday, 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 9 p.m. Eastern. We're back, and we missed last weekend, or last week, I should say. I was away, so couldn't go live, but I'm glad we're back because we got a big show coming up, the Pittsburgh Pro, and we're gonna do predictions. I know we're 2 weeks out, guys, but I got the spreadsheet all formulated here. So we're going to go into the spreadsheet and in a little bit, but first we'll go through some of the athletes, and then we'll come back to the Excel spreadsheet and put in our predictions. So let's just jump in. First, we'll go to the guy that's been the most transparent so far, Nick Walker. So we'll take a look at the updates he's been giving us. Here, I'm going to change this to here. Yeah. All right. So. And I'm still hard on Nick Walker with regards to the waistline, right? I think he looks very much improved, like he's making great improvements every week that he makes a post. And now there's a lot of talk that he might win the show. First off, Phil, you're giving me a look there. So I want to say, what do you think about the progress Nick is making, and does he stand a chance at beating Derek Lunsford?
Well, anybody could stand a chance. I'm not going to not say he doesn't stand a chance, but he looks good. I don't believe he's going to beat Derek. That's just my personal opinion.
And why not? So what's going to hold him back from beating a guy like Derek Lunsford?
Just the structure. I mean, Nick is big. He's very powerful. He carries a lot of mass. But he's still going to, he'll win a couple poses. I don't doubt that. But Derek is just, his flow, symmetry, his shape is just better.
Yeah. What poses is Nick potentially going to beat Derek in?
I think he may get him in the side chest. He has a very good side chest.
Yeah.
Possibly side tricep, possibly.
Okay.
The back poses, no, he's not going to beat Derek in any of the back poses. The most muscular, that could go either way. Abs and thighs, I don't think you could beat Derek in that. I will give him probably, honestly, two, possibly three poses, but most likely two poses. The side chest and the side tricep. He's very good at those. And you know what? The front double bicep isn't bad, but it all depends what his waist is going to look like from the front when he hits that front double bicep. He has huge arms. So it all depends what that waist is going to look like when he's on stage. To me, it's crazy from the back. His waist looks really narrow. And then when he comes to the front, it's completely different.
I agree with that. Like, it's weird how he's able to pull it off. From the front, the waist looks a lot bigger. And then from the back, like right here, it's like, is that smaller than Derek's waist?
No.
It looks like it. Is it? But physically, it can't. I don't think it is. So it's weird how he's able to make it look, not make it look, but just give off that illusion that it's smaller width-wise. Like, that's crazy. So, Ron, your assessment on Nick 2 weeks out. What's going to happen? We're going to make our predictions here in a little bit, but there's a good shot of the waist.
Yeah. I think he's going to be the one that's going to push Derek the hardest. I don't see Derek losing unless something calamitous happens in the last. Phil didn't forget about the most muscular. We said he might.
No, he got that. Yeah.
And I agree with Phil on the poses. I think side chest, side tries, front double isn't bad. It's just the quads don't. I feel like his upper body got even bigger and fuller, and his quads didn't change much. So that's sort of throwing off his balance even a little bit more. But compared to a year ago when he was almost ready for New York Pro, this is so much better. It's a much better look. I really think he's going to be second place, a strong second place. I think he's going to beat Martin. I think he's going to beat Bonac, Krizo, Veto. Yeah. Who am I forgetting? Yeah, that's it.
Williams in there.
If he beats Martin here, that's an accomplishment because Martin's on the rise and Martin's got a lot of hype behind him right now. Or Nick needs to really push this show hard and be someone that they were talking about as closer to the winner, because he backed out of those last 2 Olympias. A lot of people have turned their backs on Nick Walker. This is the show, I think, if he shows up looking crazy like I think he can, I think people are going to get back on the Nick Walker hype train.
Yeah, agreed. A good point by this guy. I want to see what his midsection looks like when he's carved up. Right. So, like, I don't know. It's so hard. Martin can beat Nick. He can beat him.
Yeah.
It's that's why this is a hard one to predict, because Martin's on the rise. He's going to be bigger. But my thing with Martin is that extra added size going to sacrifice that conditioning that we're used to seeing him in. I don't know. Let's take a little bit look at Martin. No, he hasn't been. Maybe he posted something here.
He did. It's down. It's down a little ways. 8 weeks. No, where was it? Was it the leg day? I saw it today because I did this with Giles a few earlier today.
3 weeks left.
No. But you know what? I think it might have been. Never mind. I think he was posting old pictures like before.
Yeah.
He's trolling everybody.
Yeah, I looked at that one. Yeah.
Unfortunately, all we have to see recent is that.
Man.
That guest posing. That's that lighting.
Was I got that. I actually thank you for reminding me. I have that.
Yeah, I mean he's pasty white. He's got pants on.
I don't know. Show your big quads. I don't know why you didn't show them, but I don't know if he's refined enough to beat a guy like Derek or Nick. You know what I mean? Like I still see glimpses of like an amateur in his physique and some of his features, like right there. That's not a great shot for him. I don't know if it's the texture of the skin. I mean, obviously this is what 3 weeks out, so or 4 or something like that. So, and then the back shots, that's just not. It's nowhere near Derek, and I don't even think it's near
Nick.
Nick. Thank you. With that, like, look at that. That's where I kind of get like there's still like an amateur level to him in a sense. Like there's amateur level, national level guys that would have a better back than that.
It looks like he looks like he's pinching a little bit back there too. He's instead of opening up his back, he's pinching a little bit. It's taken away from the width of the back.
I think he was kind of half-assing the poses here, to be honest.
Yeah, I believe so.
I don't think he was really posed like that. He hits a better rear double than that in on a stage when he's competing.
Yeah, he has problems hitting that pose though. Like it's just it's not the best. The real lat spread looks better on him if he hits it. I can't remember if he hits it here.
Yeah, it looks like he's going.
Yeah, he does. Yeah. It's just got a weird structure to his back.
It's better. It's a short torso.
Yeah. He does lack the width, as that guy says. His back thickness lacks. So yeah, I mean, you can't hang with Derek. You can't really hang maybe with Nick in these shots. But from conditioning and like vascularity, muscularity, that's something he has very well. Symmetry is better than Nick's, in my opinion. He lost by 1 point last year to Nick. 1 point in the prejudging in the finals in New York.
Yeah.
So the judges were like, "Yeah, let's give it to Nick." Right. So this would be a tough one, but that's Nick. Sorry, that's Martin. Better structure and symmetry than Nick, but will he have enough wow factor? Will he have enough of that muscularity and that just refined muscle look that someone that competes at the Olympia? Although he got 4th at the Olympia.
Yeah.
So we'll see. Krizo. No, let's go to William, because I think William is being overlooked.
He's always overlooked. I don't know why. I overlook him.
And yeah, I mean, he posted this update. It's a little most muscular. Where do you guys think he can land? Does if Martin somehow is off, and let me move this, and maybe Nick is off, or maybe his waist comes in bloated or something. Can William jump ahead? Be a guy like Nick, a huge guy like Nick, and even Martin. Phil, what's your thoughts on it?
I don't think he'll beat Nick. He may have a better chance to push Martin, but you know what I mean. Unless the pictures are deceiving, man, Krizo looks like he's going to be a big factor. I think Krizo is, if he comes in, I mean, he's very humble. He's not putting himself. He said that he only wants to be in the top 5, top 6, but I mean, Krizo could pass Bonac, definitely. Because both of them, you got to look at it, both of them from the front, when we're talking about waistline, you know, Bonac doesn't have the smallest waistline, especially with his most muscular there and his front double bicep. His side shots is not too bad, but his side tricep, you know, is not that great. But his side chest is pretty damn good. So I think Bonac is going to beat Nick, no. Coming close to Nick, not at all. Possibly, depending on how Martin comes in, but then I think everybody is underestimating Krizo. From what I'm seeing, unless this picture's being doctored, which I doubt it, but from what I'm seeing with the thickness and roundness that I've never seen him have before, they better watch out for Krizo. I think Krizo could sneak into that third place slot. So Bonac looks great. If he comes in like he did his previous show, he'll put up a fight. But no, I don't think he can beat Nick.
Okay, so that means you're kind of probably having Bonac in that 5th, maybe 4th or 5th, because it depends on Krizo.
Yeah.
We're going to talk about good video still. Ron, what's your assessment of where William can place this show? How high can he place?
3rd. I think he could go as high as 3rd. He could beat Martin. You know, Martin and him, depending on who shows up looking a certain way on that given day, they can beat either one of them could beat the other one. William's one of those guys that, to me, he looks better on stage than he does in the pictures and the updates, which is the opposite of most people.
Yeah.
Because he's not the widest guy. Structurally, he doesn't have the greatest structure. But when he's on stage and he's peaked right and he's full and everything's popping, he's still a very deadly competitor. I mean, look at that. He's just so much dense.
Yeah. Jesus.
Old man muscle right there.
Yeah. 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 I'm not counting William out. Not counting him out. I think he can be, I agree, he can be as high as 3rd. Just going to see. Again, he's competed in quite a bit of shows as well. So, and he's a little bit older, so maybe it could wear on him. And he might come in a little flat and faded and kind of worn out. He was just in Germany competing. He won that. Or not. No, he wasn't in Germany. I want to talk about it. He was in Detroit.
Yeah.
Detroit. So, yeah. So we'll see how he's holding up. He seems to have found a formula with Boss of Outlaw as his coach. So it's working. Krizo. Let's see. Krizonik posted a good video here.
Jeez.
I can tell he's flat. Like he's when he's really pushing his body, but just wait here till he transitions into what I'm a little concerned with is that the waist. It to me, that's where my eye goes. And it's just like, do you guys notice it? Am I just the only one that notices the waist, or it's just me?
It's just you. I mean, he's transitioning there. He's between. Keep playing it. I mean, I'm sure.
It's like it doesn't move. It's just the same size. So I don't know, but that's crazy. Like, I mean, the most muscular he's gonna beat. Who wins between Krizo and Nick Walker in the most muscular? Got a little saliva there on their lips there. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's pretty. And he's probably flat here.
Yeah, but you know what? You know what I love about Krizo's physique is some of these guys have so much crap in their arms and their shoulders. They hit like a rear double, and you just see one big lump for a delt. This guy, you can see every little fiber.
Yeah,
look at the separation. Yeah. Look at, you don't see that much anymore. You rarely see that anymore. And I love all that detail.
Yeah. Phil, what do you think? With him looking like this, with his structure, sure, he's going to be probably one of the most shredded guys in the show. Looking at like he looks paper thin skin here, but
the only thing that's going to hinder him is his posing.
Yes,
that's it.
Yeah.
With this is the best Krizo I've seen since he's been competing, and I see that he's making an effort to get better at his posing. But it looks like his facial expressions, he's squeezing, he's pushing too hard. You know what I mean? My philosophy is when you're in good shape and in good condition, you don't have to squeeze much at all when you're in good condition. You know, you just burn yourself out when you're going through the comparisons. So he fixed some of his posing, but this graininess, that's the only thing I think is going to be an issue when it comes down to the wire for the top four. Is Bonac has just got that old school posing, man. That, you know, he knows how to beat people with his posing. He's been in the game for a long time. So Krizo, hopefully his posing is better. This is the thickest, grainiest. He looks ridiculous. So it's very hard though, man. We see these guys and then they step on stage once they have the tan on underneath the lights, and then we don't see this dramatic 3D type look. So, but I give him his praise, man. He looks very good, and I think he's going to do very well. I think he's going to be in the top four battling.
Yeah, I agree with that. If he comes in peaked and full and doesn't look, because sometimes when guys get so shredded, they get on stage and end up looking flat because they're just so like they push themselves so down to get that lean, right? And then they just can't. Their body doesn't respond properly, or doesn't respond until the next day after they have cheeseburger and fries, and then they look good on the Sunday. So it's about timing and posing, like Phil said, is going to be a huge factor with Krizo. If he can get ahead of guys like Nick and Martin, I'm not sure. I don't think structurally he's going to look that well standing next to even a guy like Nick Walker, which is crazy to say, and Martin for sure. So that's why. And then even Bonac, I think he can maybe surpass Bonac. Good Veto, I think Good Veto might outpose him. Still have this shredded glutes and stuff too. So
Vito's a terrible poser too.
Yeah, they're both not the best, but I think he's a little bit better than Krizo. So that's going to be a tough one to call. We'll go to, as you said,
let me say one thing about Krizo.
Yeah.
This is his first prep with George Farah. I interviewed George a few days ago for my channel. I said the concern I've had with Krizo is he looks great in the lead up to the show, and I've always felt he looked flat on stage. I've only seen him a couple of times, but I said, how are you going to keep him from flattening out? He says, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. So they're not going to do any crazy depletion for this. And it's, we'll see how it goes. The first prep with any coach is kind of hit and miss thing, but I'm very curious to see what George can do with him.
Yeah, George is very good with loading. He's very good with loading, and he's right. I mean, I worked with George. The only thing was it was just George was a little bit too busy, and I think some things were being, lacked. I still communicate with him. I love George. He's been there for me through, that one season we worked together. But when it comes to getting you full, he's good at that. You know what I mean? I'm the toughest to bring in full. And, when we did Orlando, where I took third and I came back at the night show, I need sugar, which we try to avoid much as possible, and high fatty foods like salmon and steak and stuff like that. So when we came back and filled out much better, and I was much more livelier. So George knows what it takes to bring him in not flat, and he's 100% right. If he's looking like this right now, there's no need for no diuretics. There's no need for no depletion. It's just cruise through the show and just gradually just fill him up slowly and just cut his water. You know what I mean? I think George is going to bring him in good.
I hope so, because then we're going to see the best of Krizo versus hopefully the best of Nick and Martin, William. That's going to make for the best show. So let's hope that Krizo can peak this time, not come in flat. I remember the last show I think he did, he was sweating and it wasn't working. It wasn't working for him. So let's see how he does this time. Good Veto. I don't know if he's been posting too many updates.
I haven't seen anything.
Yeah.
Everything's just from the Brazil.
Just the leg shot. Yeah, this was yesterday.
Look at those legs.
Yeah, so let's see if we can get some shots here. They post a few next to side chest. Okay, this is at the Arnold Classic. Okay.
Yeah.
Flat. Flat is the first thing that comes to mind when I see this. This, you can tell there's not a lot of vascularity.
Yeah.
Right. To me, he just went too much on the diuretics and his body's just not responding. But still good enough to win the Arnold. It wasn't a deep lineup, so it was enough to beat whoever he was competing against. Here's another shot. Or I guess we just watch his posing routine if it doesn't freeze my computer. What do you guys think? First off, let's just see. Can Good Veto beat? Let's talk about Nick and Martin.
No.
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 2 or 3 years from now, maybe. Not now.
Yeah. Pretty definitive no's from both Phil and Ron on that. Not much to say. What does he beat him in any poses? Does he beat Nick in any poses?
No,
poses?
because he doesn't. He's not posing to his full potential. It's no way. That's going to hurt him a lot. And then his upper body, his legs are just overpowering his upper body. And if he comes in a little bit better, then I would say, he may stand a chance, but not beating Nick nor Derek. No. His posing is just not there yet to compete with some of these guys in the top, in the top level.
Ron, what's your thoughts? What's your thoughts on
Veto? I think he's a work in progress. I don't think he's where he needs to be yet. He needs to still get that upper body balance. He needs more back thickness. The legs are all done. You could probably train legs once a month and get away with keeping them that. The posing is very amateurish. It's not playing to his full. He's not showing his physique off to its full potential. He's just at this show. It looked to me like it was. I feel like he was planning on peaking for Pittsburgh, which is silly because there's no way he's winning Pittsburgh. I'm just being honest. He's not. There's no way he's beating Nick or he's not beating Derek. I have. Well, we'll get to the predictions, but I don't have him beating any of the people we talked about yet, honestly. Okay. But give this kid a little time. He's like 26 years old.
That's true. Again, he's young, 26, which is pretty crazy for the amount of muscle he's holding. And we're going to see where he lands here. So let's go. That's pretty much everyone. I'm doing top 6 anyway. So we'll just do top 6 predictions. I'm going to share my screen over there.
Do we even know anyone else doing the show?
They didn't know.
Hollinshead, and I know Hollinshead's doing it. There's a couple other people.
I thought he was out, but maybe he's not.
Who, Hollinshead?
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. He was on the.
Who said that? Was it Dave or something?
Yeah, I mean, I heard it too, but maybe we're both wrong. Maybe he is in it.
Yeah, maybe he's in it. Even regardless, I don't think he's top 6. It is a tough lineup. So I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 here. So we got this is pretty much who I'm thinking would be the top 6 that we're doing the predictions with. I'm sure you guys probably agree with this. So we'll go from the far right to mine. So Phil, you're up on your predictions. Now this is 2 weeks out, so the next Monday we can alter this, but we'll go for now. This is where we're doing 2 weeks out prediction.
I have Derek, Nick, Martin. Bonac, Krizo. Who else is left?
Veto.
Yeah. And Veto.
Okay.
6.
All right. Easy. Ron, first place.
Same. Exactly. I have exactly the same. Yeah, I think we could see Bonac ahead of Martin, but
they could flip. They could flip flop.
I mean, but right now Martin on paper, he's in the lead. He's a little higher in the standings, but we'll see. It depends on how they show up. If William beats Martin, that's a feather in his cap because Martin's a young kid on the rise, and Williams he's on the tail end of his career. He came back from that leg injury and all this, so I'd be happy just because I'm an older guy and I'm always rooting for the over 40 dudes. So
that's right, gotta root for them, bro.
over 50. Whew.
Well,
So,
I'm going to go a little different right now because I get one more week to change. So second, Martin Fitzwater. Fourth, I think William, but I think Good Veto might potentially be able to beat William. And then I'm going fifth, Krizo. Sixth, Good Veto. I think Martin's going to release some photos. He knows he's not being talked about as much. I think he's going to release some stuff, and he's going to shock a lot of people. And people may change their predictions. So leave it there. That's 2 weeks out. So we got some time to make adjustments here based on seeing some more updates. But let's move on to some other topics here. Let's do the guest posing. Let's go to guest posing. Let me share my screen. Let me stop the share. We'll talk about Samson Dauda guest posing. They're
past his prime. Oh boy.
Well, yeah, that's the question. Well, we'll see. I was spark a little debate here. So Samson Dauda guest posing. Now, obviously, I know he's in the recovery phase or the off phase, so he is off the gear, or majority of it, right? Maybe he's TRT in it right now, but who knows? But you can tell he's off.
Yeah.
And I'm surprised how much it deflates him. And I'm not sure if he's gone down this far before when he's gone off. Maybe I just haven't seen. But what's your thoughts on seeing Samson kind of cleaned out like this? And what his truth, this is his physique. Now, this is the real muscle under all the, I guess, the drugs, if you want to call it. This is what comes out, right? You know, and it's like you can kind of see this is what the kind of the natural, if you want to call it, physique is. And
natural for like a month.
Natural for a month. But you see what happens. It shows the real structure, shows everything as much as you can. He's 39, basically 40, which is not old in bodybuilding. I think once you start getting to 45, 46, now you're starting to get near the, depending how long you've been competing to, like again, Phil Clayhar, he hasn't been competing as long. That's why you're like at your age, you still look the way you do because you're not beat up like a lot of these guys that have been competing for forever, right? So there's some variables in there. Same with Andrew Jacked, right? He's same age as Samson, but his body's a beat up. First, my question: is he past his prime? Is his body past his prime? Not his age, but is his body past its prime?
No.
Yeah.
Ron, you concur
no,
with that?
Come on. He's, you can't judge him by what he looks like off gear.
I know.
He's got to, props to him because, he stays loading up all the time. Your days are numbered. Sorry, your days are numbered. Yeah. So, yeah, I think losing the Arnold was the best thing that could have happened to him because I think he's going to dig a lot deeper for his condition. I know we're so far away from the Olympia, but that's the next time we're going to see this guy on stage, the Olympia. And I think we might finally get to see if he's truly capable of hitting that condition that we've been waiting for, or if it's just something he's physically not capable of. That's what I'm curious to see. True.
Like at any time to prove to people that he can bring that conditioning, this would be the time to do it. This Olympia. I agree.
He's losing if he doesn't do it.
Yeah, he's going to lose. He's going to lose it. Maybe Nick Walker or someone, depending, can slide past him. Phil, the momentum going into the Olympia. Now, also, that reminded me when you said that, Ron. Dan Solomon said to Samson, he warned him about doing the Arnold. Okay, he warned him about doing the Arnold, and what that could do to you if you lose. What it does, it pulls away from the gravitas of having that Olympia championship title under your belt, and you're going to lose right away, especially. And now you kind of see him here, and I know I'm just playing off this, but you see him here now, and he's downsized. Obviously, he needs to be downsized, but I don't know. I just think that maybe you have a shocking result at the Olympia, and that Samson is not even in that top 3.
Wow!
Because you're gonna have Nick, okay? You're gonna have Martin, Derek seems to have found the formula. I don't think Samson's found the formula. I don't think he's found it with his wife yet.
He doesn't need he won the Olympia. What do you want to say? 90% of great condition, perfect condition. So he showed up at the Arnold at 85%, 84%. He got beat. I mean, I don't see like Nick Walker beating him. Samson still has the best physique out of everybody. It's just condition issue. The only way he's losing is Hadi shows up crazy like we've never seen him. Derek again. It's just going to be a conditioning thing. But I keep saying it's like a broken record. But he's the biggest. He's got the best structure, the best shape. It's just condition where these other guys can get past him. And I really, because I root for everybody. I'm not biased for or against necessarily anybody. I'd love to see Samson, the fullness and the size that we've seen from him the last couple times, but with so much more detail, keeping his waist and everything nice and tight, real clear. And he doesn't, I want to see more separation. It's like with Derek. I still would love to see. I'd love to see Derek and Samson with that separation and detail that Krizo has. Imagine that. That would be amazing.
Yeah, they both don't have that detail. Phil, do you think going into Olympia, do you think Samson's still the front runner or is Derek?
Samson's still going to be the front runner because he's Mr. Olympia. I thought about it a lot, even though I'm fully with Dan, and I'm thinking a lot of other people. Even Ronnie Coleman said it. It just wasn't a good idea to enter the Arnold. I understand the money and all that great stuff, but you're talking about the Super Bowl of the year. I still think he is the front runner. He's Mr. Olympia. And until you beat him on that Mr. Olympia stage, it's not settled. That's like a heavyweight fighter, right? Coming into a match, or let's say just entering an MMA match, coming from a boxing match. He's a champion of boxing, enter an MMA match and gets beat, right? It's just he's still the number one guy to be beat. I think it's still going to be very hard for Samson to be beat, regardless if Derek is on a roll at this point, because what I'm seeing is Derek's on a roll, and I guess the big thing is going to be when we see Derek compete in Pittsburgh, how he looks. If he's as good as Arnold or better, I don't think he can be better. That's just my personal opinion. It's very hard to out-peak a peak that you look at your best at, right? And then how his body's going to respond now, with going into the Olympia, regardless of this run he may possibly be on. So Samson, I believe, is just still the number one guy. I actually think he looks very fine here. Let your body rest. Come off that stuff. So this way, when it's time to go on, you're all cleaned out. Your body will respond better. The longer you're off, it's just going to respond better. The only thing I hope Samson does, because I've seen him do shows showing his meals. He loves salmon, and some other stuff. He may want to cut that salmon out and go more chicken and fish if possible, and step up that cardio. It's very simple. Listen, if he comes in 10, I think at the Olympia he was about 93, 94% because he wasn't bad. He was good enough to win with an off Derek, but still a Hadi Chupon that came in shredded, just not as good as he did in the Arnold. So if he could just come in 100%, he don't got to be out of his mind, Peel. I don't believe that because his structure is so overwhelming. He just has to come in better than the last Olympia that he did, and I believe he will win.
Okay, I mean it makes sense what you're saying. I mean he did beat Derek, but he beat obviously an off Derek and an off Hadi Chupon. So if they were on, would he be even talking about Samson being the Mr. Olympia? Maybe he'd still be third, right? So now,
but we can't say what could have. I just believe that if he's better than last year Olympia, if he's better, regardless of how, because it's his structure that's taken over everything. Because I didn't believe, my personal opinion, I thought Hadi Chupon did beat him. But we're looking at what the judges are looking at. It's not just raw conditioning. It's the total package. They just want to make sure you are somewhat conditioned. So he could come in, just like we just saw Andrew Jack. Andrew Jack wasn't even close to what he was at what was the show he did before?
Arnold.
Right. I think Arnold, he was in better condition than what he showed up in the last show, right? So, but his structure and size is so overwhelming to the point where he just overwhelms people. So Samson comes in better than the last Olympia. You don't have to be peeled. Better than his last Olympia win. Yes, it's going to be an interesting show. It could go either way, but I believe with his structure and his size and all that going on when he's on, it's going to be hard to beat him.
Ron, what's your assessment of is Samson still a front runner going into Olympia,
100%.
or has he lost? 100%.
But we're at a. I can't recall a time in recent Olympia history when we had so many guys that were so close to each other. We had like the Jay and Ronnie years where it was Jay and Ronnie and like everybody else. We had the Phil and Kai years for 3 years in a row where it was Phil and Kai and pretty much everybody else. But now we have Hadi, Derek, and Samson. They're all Mr. Olympia champions. Any one of them can beat any of the other ones on a given day under the right circumstances. So, yeah, it's going to come down to it. I agree with Phil. He doesn't need to be 100% because he's got so much superiority in terms of structure and shape and just sheer mass. It's just it's a very tough package to beat. So it really is going to come down to condition. But again, he probably doesn't need to be as shredded as Derek gets or as Hadi gets to beat them. He can be close enough because he's got them in so many in other attributes.
Agreed. And I think we have to now say, okay, Samson can come in and improve for the Olympia, but if Derek and Hadi's got the whole year off. He's chilling. He's recuperated. These other guys aren't. Maybe we're kind of overlooking Hadi Chupon because he's had the most time off between both of these guys, Samson and Derek. He could come in another level and shock everybody. So
I believe he's going to. I believe he's going to.
Yeah.
I believe that's what you're saying. I believe he is going to shock all of us because he has a chip on his shoulder. And he's really the one everybody should be concerned about because we haven't heard from him. So the man is putting in work. So, yeah, I think Hadi Chupin is – my only worry with Derek is, man, doing these shows, Hadi tried it. It didn't work for him to come in at his best at the Olympia when he came in at his best at the Arnold. It's just a fact. So I wish Derek the best, but – I think Hadi has much more of a shot for possibly first and second in this Olympia coming up, just for the simple fact Derek's body is he's just going through the ringer. Even though he's going to have enough time, it's still just too many shows.
Yeah, I want to ask you guys both about that because I had Ronnie on a couple weeks, not even 2 weeks ago. He had that horrible experience in 2001 where he did the Arnold and won that and then almost lost the Olympia that year to Cutler. And because he felt his body wasn't responding in that second prep for the Olympia, I think he sort of extrapolates that to everybody else. They're like, nobody else can peak properly twice in a year. But when you think about it, how many people have really been able to peak 100% for both a spring show like the Arnold and the Olympia? I remember like Flex Wheeler always seemed to look better at the Arnold than he did at the Olympia later in the year. And you could say the same about a few other people. Do you guys believe it's possible for anybody to be 100%, 6-7 months apart in the same year?
My personal opinion, I don't think it's possible to really nail that peak when they already nailed it. It's hard. I don't think it's possible.
Yeah. So what Derek is doing is what Hadi did last year when he did two Arnolds. Hadi did two Arnolds. Derek's doing an Arnold and the Pittsburgh, which is kind of like two Arnolds, right? And then Hadi came into the Olympia and he was like, it's not the same Hadi. It's not what we're used to seeing. And then he slipped out. It was close though. Even the off Hadi still pushed Samson Dauda, beat him in the prejudging. That's how good Hadi Chupin is. So now this could apply to Derek, although Derek hasn't competed a lot. Either has Hadi necessarily. He hasn't done a lot of shows in a sense because he's kind of skyrocketed up to the Olympia and just has been doing the Olympia. So good points by both Ron and Phil. Like we don't know. We don't know where he's going to end up. Especially, I'm talking about Derek because he's doing these shows. And if he does the New York Pro, I don't think he's going to do the New York Pro. I think he's going to shut it down. Even if he loses somehow in Pittsburgh, I think he'd just be like, well, it's 6 days. I don't know. I mean, if it's that close, does it matter? Really? Like,
but the thing that concerns me is, Hadi did those two Arnolds, but they were only a week apart. This Arnold.
Okay, that's true.
That's like 8 weeks apart, I believe.
That's true.
He's going to prep a long time already. So let's say he wins Pittsburgh. That's May 10th. he shuts it down.
Yeah.
He does his little clean out. He's going to have to get back on the grind again, like June, end of June at the latest. So, it's if he pulls this off, it's going to be the greatest feat of any bodybuilder to win the Arnold, this brand new big Pittsburgh show. And if he gets his Olympia title back, it'll be the greatest season for a pro bodybuilder probably ever. But if he doesn't, everyone's going to say, I told you so. Told you should have done all those shows. So I guess it's a time will tell kind of situation. We'll see what happens.
You're right. That's a good point. Hadi only had a week in between both shows, which is nothing when you think about it. So, you think he would have had enough time to rest after that and get ready for the Olympia. But Derek is pushing himself deep into May here for the show, and then he can shut it down. The Olympia's in October. Yeah, it's in October. So yeah, he's got some months there to chill. So who knows? It all depends on who the guy is, how he reacts to the drugs, to the protocol, what their time is off, who's the coach, what they're telling them to do when their time's off. So we can see, but it's gonna be tough. It's gonna be tough. It'll be a tough Olympia to call.
Does he look flat to you here?
He does. I noticed that. Not vascular much.
Yeah, I'm used to seeing him bursting full, and he looks pretty depleted right there.
Yeah, I think Aceto's starting to pull him down now. So because he did get really, really full, right? So I got to push him now. Yeah, so because Ivan Bodybuilding was looking at this and Derek's soft. I'm like, I don't think he's soft. Right there, you can tell it's still there, but no. So we'll see. We'll see. New York Pro. So Krizo is in for the New York Pro. We got Regan Grimes jumping into the show. Well, first off, is it a mistake for Regan to be skipping the Pittsburgh Pro? It's 1 week. Like it's 1 week, Regan. You couldn't jump into the biggest Pittsburgh Pro with the Manions and make the Manions happy? Couldn't do it?
He still might.
Come on.
Maybe he won't. How do we know he won't?
Maybe. If he's not on the list. I guess on next Monday when they get the list out, we'll know.
Yeah.
I don't think he's going to do it. I don't think he's
I
don't
think he's going to do it.
No, because of the conditioning.
If I was Regan, I wouldn't do it. I mean, even New York is going to be tough. Regan is good, but Regan,
he's got.
My personal opinion, don't work well with a lot of pressure. I've seen, several years ago competing with him in Boston when it's a pressure thing, right? So I don't think I think he made a wise decision not to jump into Pittsburgh. But New York is going to be as tough as Pittsburgh as well. You know what I mean? So him nailing right now, he's trying to push size, fullness, because he's never actually represented that. Even at the Olympia, even though he looked better than he has in the past, he still never had that pop. So the thing is he going to be able to flow into New York and have that pop and that thin skin? Because, we don't even really see that right now. So I don't know how well that condition and how his body's going to respond to this new muscle when he goes into Pittsburgh Pro. But I'm sorry, New York. But New York is going to be tough. It's going to be as tough as Pittsburgh.
Yeah. Well,
it's going to be Pittsburgh
in there.
It's going to be same lineup without Lunsford and like a few other guys that skip Pittsburgh.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't think Martin. I'm not sure. Now he looks better here for some reason. The back looks pretty crazy.
His best
vascularity back. It is. The traps are crazy, right? Ridiculous. I haven't seen traps like that. So, Jesus, like that's the traps. Very impressive there. But so he is changing pretty quickly here. Again, Boss of Outlaw is the coach. So we'll see what he can do for New York if Krizo's there. If Nick has to jump into the New York Pro, which you probably will have to, if he gets second or third, and who else would maybe Bonac's doing New York. Bonac's doing New York too.
He is.
He's doing another show.
Why not?
From what I saw, yeah.
This might be his last year. Then he's
just
running.
It is. Yes, it is.
He's running, trying to make this money.
Yes. Yeah.
And why wouldn't you do New York? Because especially him, he's coming all the way from Netherlands. It's a long flight. He's like another country. Just hang out in the East Coast for a few more days. Like I said, Pittsburgh and New York, 20, 30-minute flight. Yeah. Go to Steve's gym, take pictures with everybody, schmooze. Why not?
Totally. Yeah. Especially if this is farewell tour, like just do it up, man. Do all the shows.
Yeah.
So Regan, we'll see what becomes of that.
What shows after New York?
Got Cali Pro the weekend after that, and then Legion Sports the weekend after that.
Yeah, Regan might have to jump in one or two of those because it's going to be tough in New York. And I think the Legion only turned Antonio Burton. And I believe with the way Regan is looking now, even though I love Antonio, I think he could swing it against Antonio Regan. The only thing that's concerned me with Antonio is that something's going on with that lower midsection.
Yeah.
And then when he turns to the side, you even see even more. I don't know what's going on there.
You're hating now.
There.
He's got beautiful shape.
I know I pushed him on the delts, but
EP09 swears up and down that he knows for some point of fact that it is, but they're so pointy. It's just hard for me to believe. If I don't see striations and stuff really running through those shoulders and see pointy shoulders, it just gives the assumption that something's being put in there.
Mm-hmm. Not like it's SEO. It could just be a lot of gear he's pumping in there, and he's going a little overboard.
I don't know if it's going to make your shoulders pointy, because I put stuff in my shoulders. Shoulders don't look like that.
Because like it goes. You see.
Yeah, it's just look.
It's up. So I don't know. It's just very round. Maybe he's just genetically blessed with the delts. I don't know.
Here's the thing. We've seen him compete several times. Last year he took off. The year before, you look at the year before and the year after that. You look at his shoulders, and they're not as pointy as they're looking now. So I'm not saying he's doing anything. I've competed against him. I've seen his shoulders. I competed with him in the Olympia as well. They're way much more pointer now than anything. So whatever it is, everybody wants that wider shoulder to make the waist look much more narrow. So they want that width. You know what I mean? So. If the judge, gives you the points, I mean, why should they stop doing what they're doing? So
it's not a hernia. Yeah. I know what a hernia looks like.
No, I don't think it's. I think it's just. It's kind of like Dexter started having a little lower ab.
It's the food, your digestion. Once your digestion is because that when you have that lower stomach issue, that's digestion.
It just sits in there.
Yeah.
So I mean that's what's going on, because people used to say Dexter the turtle shell and all that with the stomach and stuff, but it is what it is. So Cali Pro, and then the Toronto was June something. So
Dubai.
Dubai. That was the next one I was going to talk about here.
That's a big money one, but isn't Milos's guys getting into that one?
Yes.
Oh, Toronto is before. Toronto's June 8th.
Okay. So you got Belarus.
Yeah.
I think Martin's. I heard somewhere Martin's doing the Dubai.
Jeez.
First place is 100. First place is 130, which is it would be terrible if you did it. First place is 130. Nexzilla doing Dubai, and I think Nathan the Asha. Yeah. So this is a recent shot here of Belarus. I think
it's all the people that can't get visas to the USA, basically.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, it is. It is right now. Right. Nathan versus Belarus. Who do you think is taking out?
Belarus.
Yeah. Although Nathan has been looking pretty good in his. He posted.
He keeps popping up every couple of years and winning shows, so it can't be that bad.
Yeah, where was this? Was the one I think? Yeah. I mean,
and see, you see Nathan right there, because they're pushing the food so extremely on the off season. Yeah. It thickens up their waist. Pushing the food is no joke when you're pushing that food. And he wasn't known for a small waist anyway, but it looks like that's even getting bigger on him.
Yeah, he's for this is like off season. I mean, he's holding it together, not bad. He said he's had this oblique issue with the oblique, so he's got to be.
Your audio is breaking.
You're breaking up, brother.
Yep. Oh. I don't have video. I don't slow it down. Sorry. Yeah, but I can see him like lagging. Get back. I'm back. Okay, there we go.
Yeah,
all right. Yeah, sorry, guys. Okay, thank you. Yeah, it's just because it's playing the video. Just slow it down. But anyways, that's Nathan the Asha. Before we wrap up here, what are we? Just about an hour. Okay. This guy is
Keon.
looking. I want to talk about. Yeah, man. Like
that's the new update. You just
I don't forget.
Yeah.
Bro, he looks ridiculous.
Yeah. Wow.
Mr. I saw that today. I looked at that today. It looks ridiculous.
2080 wins the Olympia. I said it right here and now.
I don't think he's going to lose that title anytime soon until he decides to go to the Open.
No, that's what I'm saying. I think 2028 he wins Open Olympia.
Yeah.
Yeah. It'll take him that long to grow because he needs like another 20 pounds.
Yeah.
To win the Olympia.
2028.
Look at that.
Okay. Yeah. When I can't play the video because it slows me down. But yeah, this is ridiculous. I think he's going to easily hold. I love Sean Clarita, but I just think he can't surpass this anymore. It's just there's nothing I think that Sean can do, no matter how hard he works, to be able to surpass this level of size, shape, and symmetry.
That structure,
that Keon is just
yeah.
It is perfect. His abs, I'd question a little bit on the abs. They're kind of a weird shape, but other than that, perfect physique on this guy. He's got the conditioning down. So definitely can hold the title as many years as he wants, but he may move into the Open sooner than 2028. Why not? If there's no one really.
He's 200 pounds, right? He's 200 pounds when he won that.
Yeah, he's going to have to beat him up to compete like against a Nick and a Derek. He's going to have to, even though he has that killer structure, it still has to have that density, that round, big, thick muscle bellies. I think Ron's right. I think 2028, I think might be a smart move to give him enough time to grow in to the Open.
Go
too fast, and then you're not successful. It just crushes your whole momentum and steam. You know what I mean?
I was gonna say too. Yeah, with him, he's got such small bones. 20 more pounds on that guy is gonna look like 40 pounds on anybody else.
Yeah, because he won't have to rush it. If he tries to jump in sooner than that, he's gonna be trying to rush putting on size, and we all know how that's gonna work out. So the way he's doing it right now is very, very smart. Him and his coaches is right on point what they're doing.
The crazy thing is he's put on the size and his waist hasn't blown out.
Hasn't moved.
So it's crazy. And even Ronnie Coleman's like, Keon's going to be an Open Mr. Olympia champion. Wow. That's a lot. That says a lot. So I think Keon might not compete for the Olympia, but he might pull like a Sean Clarita and do an Open show. And win an Open show just to test the waters.
Yeah, most definitely.
Right? Wouldn't that be cool? Yeah, if you did the year like the Romania or something after the Olympia, something like that. He could win one of those shows. He could win one of those European shows, I think.
Why not?
Pretty easily. Why not? Depends who's in it as well. But all right, guys, we'll wrap it up there. We got our predictions locked in for the Pittsburgh Pro. We'll come back next week and we'll see if we got to update them. Got some better updates from Martin and a few others, and we'll see. But aside from that, that's it. I got the rest of the election to watch, the results for Canada. Not that you guys care.
You guys are going for your replacing what you call it, right?
Trudeau.
Yeah.
Everyone hates Trudeau. Yeah.
That's what I heard.
So. Yeah. So we'll see what happens. But yeah, that's it. So we will be back next week, guys. Appreciate you coming on. It's a good show.
All right, guys.
Show.
Rod, love you.
Oh, before we go, I saw
up?
the 15 weeks out for the Masters. You tagged 15 weeks out Masters.
Who did that?
Phil.
Me?
That was you. Is it 15 weeks out?
Yeah.
So I think you play it.
Okay. No, we're gonna do it. Actually, I got some really great clients. I went, it's difficult for me to go ask for help. I'm Jamaican. I work hard. My dad don't ever ask for help. I just was raised that way. It's a part of being like this strong, manly figure. But, I have some very generous clients, and I spoke to 12 of them. 2 of them were good friends from the gym, just see me put on hard work and compete. And they're all going to contribute money in June to help my trip, which is a blessing. So let you 2 know if you guys could contribute something to be well. But yeah, man, they're all pulling together, and they're battling who's going to give the most. They don't want to be outshined by the other. So I'm very blessed that is happening. I spoke to Blue. I told him that. So he's excited, but he's also going to do his thing. He's also going to help me as well for us to make it. But yeah, we're definitely gung-ho 100% for the Masters. It's up to, like I told Blue, it's up to me to lose. And I believe if I really put my head down and stay focused, and now with these people helping me, I don't want to let none of them down. So yeah, we're definitely doing it. We're going to win. So just keeping our fingers crossed and continue to push forward one day at a time, and we'll see what happens.
Awesome, man.
Awesome. That's cool. I'm going to be able to go on the journey with you through the show here every week. We'll see how Phil's doing, if he's grumpy, if he's low carb day or something. So
yeah, the carbs are starting to drop just a little, just 10%. He wants me to pose now. He doesn't want to up the cardio anymore. We're already at 35. So he wants 10 minutes a day posing, so we have to crank up too much cardio. But the body's starting to come back. We're going in on this is the end of week 3 of fully on board. So that retired body's starting to come back to life now. So as the weeks go on, I'm feeling good. My legs are coming back. So I really feel good. Really, really feel good. And like I said, it's up to me to lose this show. Got great competitors that's going to be in the show, but it's really up to me to lose. And I'm not going that far to lose.
Right on. Awesome. We're with you, Phil.
And remember, we're with you. We got the whole world of bodybuilding support for sure, because they're gonna love to see you get on that stage and battle who's ever up there. If it's Brandon, whoever, you're gonna be able to stand next to that guy and push him. So that'll be the chance to do that is amazing. So that'll be cool. Before I go, a couple minutes left. Live stream for the Pittsburgh Pro. Why wouldn't they have a live stream for Ron? You've been in the media in the back end of this for a long time. Like, what is the thought process about just saying, nah, screw it?
Well, okay, so confirm that they never said we're not having a live stream, did they?
No, I haven't heard that.
So I've seen so many shows not announce the live stream until 7-10 days out. I cannot imagine for the life of me they're not, because they've been critical. The IFBB Pro League has been critical of other shows when they didn't have a live stream. I mean, this is Jim Mannion's show. Gilco will be there. There'll be a freaking 5-10K live stream. It probably won't be free, but it's gonna. I would bet you money there's going to be a stream. It's going to be great quality. They just haven't announced it yet. They're not going to have the Pittsburgh Pro, this massive mega event that they're so proud of, and no stream. They're going to have a stream, guys.
Yeah, I think that's okay. I pray to God that they have a stream, because I think what you're saying is a lot of these promoters, they do it like the 2 days before. Oh, there's a live stream link, right? To sell tickets or whatever. I get it. They're not at the level of the Arnold right now, so they probably, they got to really push it as far as they can before they promote the stream. But anyways, I hope they do. This is going to be one of the best shows of the year. Yeah. I think I'm cutting out. But so hopefully they do. So just everyone pray before you go to bed tonight for the live stream, and it'll probably happen. All right, guys. Oh, and then I guess Brandon Curry isn't doing this Masters.
No, no, he's not doing it.
Oh, well, Phil just moved up a spot. All right,
there we go.
I I think it's going to be a lot of surprises
well-
of who's not doing it. So we'll wait and see.
Okay. Man, Masters Olympia champion Phil Playhard, man. Can you imagine that? That would just be. Woo.
Now that'd be a great way to go.
All right. Yes. Yes, it would. Yes, it would. All right, guys. Appreciate it. We will catch you on the next one.
All right. Take it easy, guys. Be good.
Have a great night.
See you. Peace.